What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Phase 6, your source for music, motivation, business, and support. It's your boy, Sirr Love. I'm super excited to launch this podcast type experience. And so as a part of this experience, these are the first couple episodes, and I wanted to do something different. I wanted to really connect with individuals that have been supporting the channel, that have been, watching, that have been reaching out specifically with the contact number. So many people have reached out and I've gotten backed up. I haven't had the ability to contact people back. And so what we're going to be doing today is surprise phone calls. Actually, I'm going to do some surprise phone calls. Never did this before. I'm not sure how it's going to go, but the goal is hopefully to have some really good conversations with individuals that are just like you, that are trying to figure out their space in the game. Trying to navigate, trying to understand management of shows, or trying to understand how to make that next step forward. All right. So I'm chatting with a cat right here in the superphone, which is my line number. If you've went to any of the YouTube videos, you can check out our phone number and reach out, give me a call. We can have a conversation, right? Not give me a call. I'm sorry. I take that back. You can send me a text and we can have a conversation. The number is 404-442-4792. And right now I'm getting ready to respond to some of the messages, and instead of just texting these individuals back, I'm going to give them a call. So I got a message that says, look, let me ask you a question while I have your attention. How have artists impressed you in the past from first impression? I'm not trying to use this information against you. I'm just curious for myself moving forward when contacting assets. That's an interesting question. I think we should surprise dude with a call and see how he responds to a phone conversation versus me just replying back. So let's see what happens when I dial this in. Let's see where it goes. Surprise calls.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Yo, what's good, man? How you feeling?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How about you?
I'm super solid, man. I was sitting here texting you, I was like, why am I texting this kid? Let me just have a conversation with dude. Not even this kid. Let me texting this dude. Let me have a conversation with him and have a real touch point since I got the space, man.
I appreciate that, man. The reason why I texted you like that is because I already know with myself, sometimes I get like an overwhelming amount of people just coming at me for whatever reason, and I'm just an artist, so I can imagine like how many people you have contact you, even with Superphone and things like that. So, I just wanted to, while I had your attention, I just wanted to ask you that question.
All right, bet. So, can you hear me clearly? By the way, this is my first time doing this on the recording. I want to make sure you can hear me. Can you hear me?
I can hear you good.
All right, bet. So, in my experience, I've seen a little bit of everything, bro. I've seen cats bust out singing out of nowhere. I've seen rappers come up and just start going. I've seen all sorts of different versions of hungry, right? I've seen dudes that are more humble, that kind of work the relationship a little bit longer. I've seen people add value in different ways. And so the answer to your question is, in my opinion, you got to do something that's kind of natural to you. I can tell you some stories of things that really worked, that have been consistent for different people in the game, and maybe that'll give you some insight. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to hear that.
Yeah. Okay. So, I've seen multiple times where a dude works his way into a situation by, and not saying I promote, dealing or anything like that, but I've seen dudes be the weed man in the studio, right? And they'll be in the studio, kicking it, with whoever, chatting it up or whatever, vibing, and they'll come in there, serve everybody up, blow it down with everybody, chill, vibe, build that relationship over a long period of time, like 6 months, making sure that they're on top of it, always got the best. And next thing you know, them cats get signed. Next thing you know, those cats get opportunity. Next thing you know, them cats is opening up for someone. Next thing you know, and you'll see it. So I see them, when I see cats moving in that particular way, I kind of already know the angle, but that's a that's, you know, you really got to have really good character to move that way, and you have to really have a good plug and good connect to always be able to get like the best stuff when cats are coming to the studio. I've seen a lot of people do it that way. Not saying that's for you, but if you're in that space, a lot of cats have used that technique. Another thing that I've seen is consistency, right? So if you're interested in getting at somebody, look at what places they're going to. A lot of times, you know, individuals are talking on panels, you know, they're at festivals speaking, you know, they're going certain places and just constantly being it's constantly being around. Like the person that walks up to the mic and asks the question and says your name, and they hear your name 3-4 times. Walk up to the person, introduce yourself, say your name, you know, add some value, leave, come back, do it again. What happens is through repetition, they start saying, "Hey man, don't I know you? I met you from somewhere." In that repetition, they're not going to remember where they met you from. This is the music industry. So in the music industry, when you meet somebody, every individual is an asset. So if I remembered you, it means that you likely are an asset. Therefore, in that moment where they go, "Hey, haven't I seen you somewhere?" You now got the floor to say and do and be whoever you want to be. Like whatever you say in that moment, they'll likely believe it. You're like, "Yeah, man, I work at such and such records and we used to do it." They'll believe it. Because in that moment, I've seen you so many times in so many different places. It's got to be true because ain't no one else moving like this. Especially when those movements are outside of the city that you're natively from, right? So if you're, you know, in New York and you see someone in New York, and then you go to Atlanta, you see him in Atlanta, and then you go to Cali and you see him in Cali, like that effect, even though it sounds like a lot of work, not saying you should be chasing any one individual around, but the repetition can create a big impact. Now notice I'm not saying that there's any one thing that you can just send. All of this is work. Like there's really very rare situations where you can just make an immediate impact out the gate, right? However, I have seen that. I remember when Kevin Gates, I'm not sure if I told this story online before, but I remember first time I met Kevin Gates, he wasn't signed yet. He was getting ready to drop Luca Brasi, and Luca Brasi hadn't dropped yet. And if you know anything about Kevin Gates, the Luca Brasi mixtape, EP, album, whatever you want to call it, at the time was just a mixtape. It was getting ready to change his life, right? Hadn't quite dropped yet. I was in the studio at Hot Beats in Atlanta, and my mentor that put me on, you know, we was sitting there, and he had just got the owner of the studio an A&R job, right? And so the owner of the studio, this is Hot Beats, so this is the same place Drake, Rick Ross, Wayne, like all these cats in there all the time. You walk in there, 2 Chainz over here, you know, it's just that type of vibe, right? So Russ is like, "Hey man, yo, you gotta meet this new kid. Yo, this kid is dope. I think you guys should sign him. Da 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 da." Right? So I'm sitting with my mentor. We sitting in the chair in the office, and my man's just like, "Yo, bring him in." And so Kevin Gates, you know, at the time, young hungry Kevin Gates walks into the room, and he goes, and mind you, let's talk about how he got in the room, because Kevin Gates ain't even from Atlanta. Right, so how does Kevin Gates get this opportunity is really the question. How does he even get the shot to be in front of A&Rs that can make decisions on his future career, right? He was hustling in New Orleans, really getting out there with his first project. Forgot the name of the project, but he had a dope little mixtape he was working. This is back in live mixtapes and Dat Piff and all that shit is hot, right? He's working the mixtape in the city, and then instead of just recording records in his city, he decides to record records in poppin' studios in different parts of the country. So he's coming to Atlanta, he's in New York, he's going to premier studios. This is another strategy that a lot of people have used, like going to like premier studios, having your shit already hot. So you really in there just to play records so other people can hear your shit, right? And then you might cut a record, but you really in there vibing, because someone might walk by and go, "Damn, that's some hot shit. Who the fuck is that?" And next thing you know, you in a session, right? But these studios might cost more, right? So I'm like, this is like the real shit versus like, "Yo, walk up to an A&R and do this," because it's probably not gonna work, right? So, you know, Kevin, you know, obviously he did his thing. Russ had, you know, the owner was on him, because obviously he's spending money at the studio, so the owner is fucking with him, and he has that type of personality where he's just like such a cool dude with dope energy or whatever. So, you know, he's the type of dude like, come in the studio, listen to the records, whatever. Anyway, he comes into the studio, and you know, Russ says, "Yo man, give him a taste of something." And you know, Kevin ain't the type of dude to just walk in and sell himself. So instead, his energy, he looked at us and he said, "Oh, them niggas? I bet." Started beating on his chest, snapping, and just started rapping. And he rapped some cold shit, just with that raspy voice, just, and it was some real, like the lyrics was real, the texture was real, the story was real, everything was so authentic and organic. I remember sitting there going, yo, we should sign this dude like right now. Like, and I remember that being my energy. So like, for him it was a performance, right? But that performance only meant something with the setup. No setup, no performance, right? So a lot of times when you're making an introduction, is who's making the introduction, is who's putting you in that position to make that move, right? So if you're sitting here going like, how do I impact someone? The key is to build a relationship. He built the relationship with Russ, by just coming to the studio, spending money and hanging out. And I'm not saying every relationship requires you to spend money, but I'll take that back. Every relationship does require you to spend money. Because, like, if me and you were to get cool, what the hell we gonna do? Like, what? You want to go catch a movie? The movie costs money. What you want to go? You want to go play golf? Golf costs money. Like, no matter what, it's like a relationship building, right? So, however you build a relationship with an individual, people want to bet on your character before they bet on your talent. You'll get further with character than talent. So if you're trying to make an impression, you need to be thinking about your character, not necessarily, and how you can showcase your character, who you are, your value, not necessarily your talent. I think Young Thug got an interview with he got an interview out there. They did it on Tidal. I believe they did it on Tidal. Whatever. He got an interview out there.
Crown interview.
With Ellis, yes, Elliot. Thank you. He did the Elliot interview. And his face was in my head, and I don't know why that shit is late, and I'm drinking. So Elliot did the interview, and Gutter was in the interview, right? And Gutter, Thug is talking about how Gutter was just always in the studio, just always hanging out. He didn't even know that the dude can rap, and next thing you know, boom, he's doing his thing. And so many people lose opportunities trying to say, look at me, versus get to know me. Because if you want someone to vouch for you, like, they not vouching for your talent, they vouching for your character, they're vouching for your loyalty, they're vouching for the fact that if I walk you in this room, you ain't gonna walk into another room and defy the relationship that I just built. Like, it's almost secret society-ish. It's like, I can't let you in the clique if I don't trust you.
Yeah.
So your character is gonna take you further than your talent will most of the time. So I don't know if that was the answer you wanted to hear, but that's the real though.
No, I get that. And to be honest, with that story and with the other two examples that you gave me, the one thing that I can see there is adding value. Even with Kevin Gates spending money going to these premier studios, that was him being consistent with the quality of his work, being consistent with I would say a straightforward plan of how he wanted to get himself out there. And then it was him adding value with his character. Where it sold everyone around him, and he didn't even need, he was just beating on his chest. You know what I mean? It was those combinations that seemed valuable in that moment.
Correct.
So I can see how that.
Yeah, that's it. So if you're looking for the methodology that's going to allow you to win and be successful, it's you figuring out how to be authentically you around a stranger consistently. That's the challenge. How to be authentically you around a stranger consistently. If you can do that, then you'll build the type of relationship that will allow you to really present something dope. Because, there are some scenarios where you can probably catch someone's attention in the moment, but typically, and I wrote about it in the book that I did about management on the website. I wrote about this process. It's typically, and in the book, I don't remember word for word how I positioned it, but in the book, I broke down how I literally scripted a conversation, right? And there's a technique to talking to people in the industry, right? And a lot of it is some of it's jargon, some of it is who you know. A piece of it is who you know. It's like, hey man, how you doing? Yo, Sirr Love, man. I saw you at the such and such and such. I was talking to your man, doing. He was telling me that you was doing blah blah blah. Like it's a certain energy. Like I have to validate myself before they engage. And the names that I drop will be names that are not public names. They're not people that are written about in the press. They're not people that are super popping. Or maybe they are written about in the press, but it's not the type of articles that everybody watches, right? Or scoping, right? So when they hear me say these names, they know, oh shit, if you know this person, you in the game, therefore I must respect you. Because this is a game where it's small, everyone knows everyone, but people are always coming and going, positions are always changing, so no one wants to rub no one the wrong way. So if you know these people, you might be someone that I need to know, therefore I'm about to respect whatever you're getting ready to say next, right? But I'm going to check you on what you just said. So if you tell me you know so-and-so and so-and-so, you can't know that person without also knowing this person. So I might check you back and go, oh yeah, so-and-so, yeah, so you was kicking it with do-do-do-do-do-do. And if I don't know who do-do-do-do-do is, then I'm bullshitting. Right? And I just fucked up the relationship out the gate. Right? So there's all sorts of different, tricks of the trade. But as you start developing a relationship, you can use that person's name in the relationship to garner another relationship that allows you to navigate the next situation.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Makes sense?
Wow, I guess I never thought of it like that. Yeah, that makes sense. So let me ask you this. So what I'm getting so far is consistency. That's definitely a key.
Yeah.
But what as an artist, right? And I mean, and I'm not saying you speaking from the perspective of an artist, but I mean coming from someone who deals with artists. What are some ways that you...
Oh, shit. Damn, I done hit the wrong button, hung up on dude. Damn. Let me call him back. Let me call him back. I don't know what just happened. Dialing from a computer is mad different. Let's bring him back on.
Hey, man.
Yeah, that was me, man. You heard me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. That was me. But go ahead and finish it up. I'm trying to call a couple people tonight, though, so it's probably going to be the last one, though. No offense. I just want to make sure I can chat with as many people as possible. Yeah. But
so I just want to recap on what you just said so that I can make sure I internalize it. So the consistent adding value. But the question that I had was, when you're dealing with an artist, what are some ways where you think an artist can actually provide value other than being authentically themselves? Because in my opinion, I think it's easy to be yourself when you're being real with yourself, but when it comes to getting into a business relationship with someone, they may not be looking for somebody to just be themselves. They may need something specific.
Yeah.
Do you have any thought on that?
Services. Like, what is your service? What is, like you said, adding value? You already answered your question. I think you're just trying to understand what are examples of ways to add value, right? So adding value could be, I have a business and you spend money with my business, right? Adding value could mean you know how to cut hair and you cut my hair for free all the time. Adding value could be you're a specialist in social media. You've been helping some of my artists with social media. Adding value could be I need someone to get on the ground and go out here and hand out these flyers and whatever. Adding value could be like that other thing I mentioned. Hey man, I need to know who got the best butt in the city. Do you know who it is? Can you get them up here? Adding value could be, hey man, we're going to the club tonight and this ain't our city, this your city. We need about 10 beautiful women to be in the VIP with us. Can you make that happen? Can you get 10 beautiful women here in 2 hours, right? Adding value could be all sorts of things. It's like, what is it that's you that regular everyday people like about you? Like, are you adding value? Could be comedic relief. Like, you're just the funniest dude around. Everyone just likes rocking with you because you're hilarious. Adding value could be honesty. Like, yo, this dude always is a straight shooter. Like, sometimes he be saying some shit to make us not fuck with him, but we know if we ask him, we're going to get the real. Some dudes may hate that. Others may really appreciate that, Adding value could be your business intellect, your knowledge going into the situation, how you can help the situation. Your value could be, the list goes on. I don't know what your talents are, but you have talents. You have things that make everyday people like you. You have things that make business people like you. And whatever these things are, you want to figure out how to bring them together and package it in such a way that you can add value to the next person. And it's also about figuring out where you fit, because your value may not be something that I need. If your value is, hey, I can help you with social media, that's dope. But my wife is a social media specialist. Like, my social media is on hiatus because I chose for it to be on hiatus, right? So like, that may not add value for me, right? But for the next person, that might add extreme amounts of value, right? So it's about also figuring out where you fit. So as a person that also worked in sales, and I'm talking about this a lot on the podcast this year, that I don't just do entertainment. I'm also very heavy in tech, and I do stuff in real estate and all sorts of shit. So, but in tech, I done sold shit for Google and IBM and all these other different types of people before, right? And the energy was always, let me listen, let me ask really good questions, let me listen and learn about what's important to you, and then connect the value that I can add to what's important to you versus telling you what I can do and how I can do all these things. It may not hit. I want to know your pain points. I want to know what you're struggling with. I think a good relationship is going to start with more questions than you pitching you. It's going to be more questions. And especially if you're talking to someone that's established, people that are established love to teach. And they love to hear people, they love for people to listen to them, right? Or they're in a position where they feel like, I don't know you, I don't want to teach you nothing, I don't want to give you no games, one or the other. But you got to figure out that balance. So at the end of the day, it's what value can you add? How can you be authentically yourself doing it? Combine all the things that I said, and then go out there and do it. And then be consistent. It's a part of it. Consistent. It all goes together. And then, of course, obviously work on your craft, because when you finally do all this other political BS required for you to get in the space you want to be in, and it's really not BS, because all the friends you meet along the way are the friends that's going to help you sustain yourself. Like, you don't want to just get signed and don't have no support, right? The label ain't going to put no money behind. Then they're going to put money, but they're going to put a lot of resources behind you. So all these people you're building relationships with are going to be the people that you call when you get your budget and you need to move your project and you don't know how. Like, how the fuck do you get on Jimmy Kimmel? You don't know how to get on Jimmy Kimmel. But if you had made a friend along the way that knows how to put you on Jimmy Kimmel, the label is not going to put you on Jimmy Kimmel until you sell X amount of records, until you get X amount of spins, right? Plays, right? Yeah. X amount of plays is going to equal this next opportunity from the label where they'll consider you a little bit more. But what if you need that boost beforehand? What's the relationship that you had in the process that can give you that? Those are those relationships. So it all goes together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So through being authentically myself, I have to assess each relationship to see what value I can provide, if I can provide anything.
Correct. And if you're a person that can't provide a lot of value, then you need to work on yourself.
Hey, Sirr Love, man, I appreciate you. My name is La JD. I don't smoke cigarettes. I appreciate you for your time, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I appreciate you for picking up the phone and being on here. Now, I see you put your phone number in, but you didn't put your name in. So that means when I blast out opportunities, you ain't never going to know about them. So make sure you log your name in the system. I really don't blast out things much. I think I probably only sent out like 5 blasts since this. But I was working on a movie in the past. I sent out a blast to help everyone get on the movie. I'm involved with a lot of television show placements and stuff like that now. So I plan on sending blast out about that. Like, I want to help everybody. So like, you gotta log in and get, put your information in so that you can get that type of response. But other than that, dog, I appreciate your energy, man. If you need anything, shoot me a text. It may take me forever to get back to you, but I'm gonna try, right?
No problem, man. Thank you. This was enough. I appreciate that, man. I'm going to pull over.
All right. Take care, man. Later.
Yeah, later.
All right. That was dope. First one. That was dope. All right. Let's talk to a couple other people. So I think his situation was dope. I think the questions that he asked was dope. I think that the way he's trying to think about the game is dope. I think that kid right there, the types of questions that he's asking, those are the right questions. Those are the questions that are going to lead him to some type of success if he can stay consistent with this. So I don't know him very well. Maybe he'll take some of my advice and I'll see him being consistent and his name will pop out. Like, there's some people right now, going back to what he just said, there's some people right now in my email box, and every time they send me something, I look at it, right? And they found me on YouTube, and they just consistent. There's thousands of people that have found me on YouTube, but there's only probably about 6 people that I pay attention to. Those people are working harder than everybody else, right? Like, his everything's coming to my email. Some of those cats, I done have phone conversations with, I did everything. Like, it's the energy. It's what you do. It's how you work it. It's how you are authentically yourself in the process of trying to get out there and grow, man. So, big shouts out to dude. Appreciate you for accepting the call. Let's see if we can that's his nephew. I never knew when he was little. All right, some people are reaching out to me. I'm trying to read these comments. Just trying to send you some music. Devin says he's trying to send me some music. No problem. I need you ASAP. Want to pay you to help me prep my releases. What are you talking about? Prep your releases. Let's see what my guy Roddy 1485 is talking about. Let's give him a call. So Roddy reached out to me and oh no, this is Roddy. This is Roddy. So what is Roddy talking about? So history on Roddy. So Roddy's the cat that came to me back some time ago. And he was in a situation where he was in the process of getting signed. And it ended up happening. He ended up signing with I ended up helping him look through paperwork and helping him figure out a situation, this, that, and the third. I guess he's potentially one of the success stories of the organization and whatnot, of what we've been doing. I'm curious to see what he got going on. Let's just give him a call, man. Let's just give him a call and see how Roddy's been doing since everything. Where's the call button again? Here it is. Let's do it.
Hello?
Yo, Roddy, what's good, bro?
Hey, what up, my guy? Chilling. Just got back to Atlanta. I've been here for about a week and a half. Got all my rest in, so I'm trying to get the work in now.
I dig it. You on them planes in this COVID, man?
You said what?
So you riding them planes during this COVID?
Man, let me tell you, bro. I've been tested. I don't know how many times I've been tested. I got tested when I left Miami because I had to go back to Mom's in Ohio. Then when I left Ohio, I got tested again before I came here. Same thing. So when I leave here, I gotta go get tested again. So every city,
every city you go, every little place, every little city I go, every little video, everywhere I go, gotta take that damn test.
You already know how it goes.
All right, perfect, man. Shoot, how's everything been though, man? Because and shoot, let me be transparent. So I'm starting to do a podcast. That's something that me and the guys, me and the team decided that we wanted to do to kind of get back in it, because we haven't really been making videos. I've been on all sorts of other stuff. And so a part of what I've been doing tonight is just literally calling people back that I was supposed to text back and just having a conversation. So technically you on the podcast, you on like one of the first episodes of this thing right now. So I want to let Perfect. You know that that's happening, just in case you don't want to say certain things.
We good.
Yeah, but it's dope to hear from you, man. How's everything been going since the deal and all that? 'Cause I know you sent me messages saying things kind of switched up and changed a little bit. So like, how's everything going, bro?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, appreciate it. Yeah, everything's going pretty decent. Just learning everything along the way as we're going. Most of the stuff we already know. It's just like small tedious stuff, that we kind of just learn from the mistakes and everything.
Right.
But right now the issue is more so just getting the support from the type of support from the label that we need or that we want. Right now we see it's not coming as we would like it to be. So now we're kind of more so on our own than anything.
Right.
So it's like, instead of crying and whining about it, it's like, okay, let me just go ahead, put my best foot forward and get ready for this release, do it myself, and then, let's hopefully they'll follow suit, follow back up. But yeah, right now that's where I'm at. All of our projects are done. Pretty much everything is finished. I just need to tie up loose ends, with production agreements and stuff like that. And then set up, stuff for a rollout and get everything going.
Bet. I mean, that's the attitude. I mean, because that's everyone's story, right? Yeah, man, we signed, and the label don't want to do everything they want to do, and everything they said they was going to do. The craziest thing is artists be the main ones complaining about, man, the label ain't going to do nothing. Then artists become labels, and they become labels, right? They do the same thing, man.
Exactly, bro.
It's a part of the game, bro. Because I think what you realize when you're in the label position is the responsibility, the amount of money you got to spend, the risk that you're taking, the business. You invest in 10 acts and maybe only 2 pay out. It's like a venture capitalist play, And so what cats start doing is they're like, well, let's see who can bubble on their own, and then we'll invest in that versus just taking chances on everybody. But I mean, where you are though, like where you at now? And I know you had hit me up talking about, I can't even see the message right now because I got it covered up by me calling you. But you said you said something about promotions or something. What's going on?
Yeah, so no, I'm in Atlanta now, and I'm getting ready to drop well, I want to go ahead and drop everything. I just kind of wanted to see if I could pay you to help me prep for the release. You know, some people do like consultation fees and, you know, different things like that. I was just going to see what was available to me because I kind of just want to just have a conversation so I can expand on everything and just make sure, you know, I'm as prepared as possible for this release, you know, before I go ahead and press the button on it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we can figure something like that out. It depends. Like my bandwidth is mad crazy. So it just really depends. But I mean, like how much? Let's see how much we can knock out now in the moment. You know, because for me, it's, you know, I want to see you win. So like, I mean, what do you have structured right now?
Okay, so right now we're working with like 3 to 4 producers. 2 of them are family members, so we don't really have to pay too much out for them. One producer I have, he's signed to Atlantic, but he signed to Atlantic in the middle of our project, our production. So when we first started, he didn't have a manager. We was able to work with him and get the license for for productions and stuff like that fairly cheap. But now since he's with Atlantic, and we didn't choose those beats we wanted, now he's charging arm and leg. So that kind of.
What publishing company did he go with?
I'm not sure that the name of the company. I know right now he's through somebody that's parent through Atlantic. So
okay, yeah, I know where he's at.
I have to speak to his. So I had to speak to his management, and that pretty much kind of threw the deals off because when we first initially spoke, it was about 8 months ago once we first started, and the deals were a lot affordable. So then I was able to pay for that then, but now with what he's asking, I can't pay for it. And the label, like I said, the label, they're not really helping us. I'm still paying everything out of pocket, so it's mostly feeling like I'm kind of independent at this moment. So I don't know if I should, restructure. Initially, me and my artist Bars were going to be releasing his first project on his birthday, which was a week and a half. And now it's like, okay, since he wants us to come up with this $5,000 budget, it's like, okay, we need to rethink things.
All right, so let's go back. Let's go back before we even get into numbers and whatnot. So you got a project and you're trying to get records cleared, like through the producers and now through the label for this one producer, right? And
right.
So before you can release the project, you are currently concerned about clearance of these records. Is that accurate or inaccurate?
Right, that's right.
That's accurate. All right, and so is that currently holding up your project?
Yes.
Okay, and so your process now is you're seeking to get the records cleared, but now they've changed the price of the records.
Correct.
All right, and this is through his new management, or this is through the publishing company that's changing the price?
I'm not sure the logistics. He shot me his management information. They told me basically since he's new with a new publisher or I guess a new company, everything had to be restructured.
Well, call him up, man. This is a relationship play. You got to call him up, man. You got to call them up. You might have to fly out there. You might got to wine and dine these cats. You got to create a relationship because you don't know these cats, right? And you gotta build off the energy, and you gotta get the producer to build off the energy of like, yo, we already started something. Let's finish what we started. Let's do some paperwork where we can make the payments heavy on the back end if the front end is an issue. But we already started something. We already had something moving. Let's not put a wrench in the plan because honestly, you're gonna end up pulling the records. Like, don't threaten him with we're gonna pull the records. But in the situation that you're in, the label's not 100% funding it until you hit certain milestones. I'm pretty sure they gave you milestones. When you do this, we'll do that. When you do this, we'll do that, right? So in the process of you trying to hit those milestones, all the capital that you have, you're going to need toward promotions. Therefore, he's going to have to eat on the back end, and you're going to have to figure out a way that's going to make it make sense, or you're going to have to pull the records. And that's just something that he's just going to have to learn as a producer, as a part of it. Hopefully those records aren't core to the project, or you're going to have someone come in and restructure it. But, you need to have you need to build a relationship with the managers, have a conversation with the managers, and that's, and negotiate how you can move forward, or at least get the rate to a place where it's feasible for you to move forward. right? Because at this point, the artist no longer has power, but the artist does have the ability to, not the artist, the producer does have the ability to sway the conversation. The producer, if he's a good business person, his job is to look at you in the face and say, yeah, man, you know, I don't know what's going on. My managers are trying to figure it out, man, but bro, we got to make this happen. Boom, 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 boom. And then go behind your back, talk to his manager and say, hey, man, you know, I love them boys, but they got to pay me. Right? Like that's the business of a creative. The creative can't ever break the relationship. So no matter what he's telling you, you don't know if it's authentic or not. So you want to try to shore up your relationship as much as you can with him. Mind you, anything you've done in the past to allude to the idea that you got a crazy bag is going to hurt you right now. And this is one of the things that I try to tell everybody, like, don't go out there flexing, especially when you sign this down the third. Don't flex, because the moment you flex and everyone think you got it, they coming for it. Now they want it. So if you've already given them that energy, then you might lose them records, you know, or you're gonna buck on it, drop it, and deal with the legal afterward. Because at the end of the day, they can do cease and desist, pull the record that's down the third. You can pump it on SoundCloud or some other platform. They'll pull it from there too. I mean, it depends on how aggressive they want to be. But if the record is barely doing anything, you know, they may not be as aggressive at stopping it. But if the record goes stupid, they're gonna let it grow, and then they're gonna come back and sue you for everything you got. So you gotta play this delicately. Your best bet is to schmooze with management, build the relationship, structure a long-term deal, guarantee placements on later projects. If the songs are that fucking important, guarantee song, give them a song deal on the next project. It wouldn't be a song deal, but it's like a song deal. Like give them opt-ins on the next project. Like, yo, I guarantee you 3 on the next project, or 2, right? I don't want to give 3, because 3 is technically 6 if he's only a producer, right? Because you only get it's 50%, right? So, you know, I guarantee you 1, or I guarantee 2 on the next project, right? And if they act like that ain't enough, you remind them like 2, like he's just doing the beat, he ain't writing the song, so 2 is really 4. You know? Right. And if you gotta go there, but figure out, you know, all the different ways you can negotiate, but that's the relationship thing. So you solve that with relationships. If not, you gotta cut the records and move on. And most producers would rather make it work than cut the record, cut the opportunity to get a check.
That makes sense.
So
that makes them.
But okay, so now the records, so boom. You got family members involved, which is going to be a whole nother issue in the future, which we ain't going to talk about right now. Right? We got family members involved doing it for a discounted rate. Then you got this producer that just signed. Moving forward, now you got now you got to actually do the promotions behind the record, right? You got to promote the record, this, that, and the third. So what you got for that?
So for that, I was looking at a lot of placements for like playlist placements. I see that's been very successful. Playlist placements or playlisting. So I've been doing a lot of research with that, and then also figuring out what writers to utilize for what publications. And, you know, of course you have the different Instagram, you know, medias like the shade rooms and you know, gossips and that. So just figuring out which one of those places we can have, you know, do our write up, put some money behind that, the playlisting, and then influencers. We wanted to do a big thing on like trying to have some influencers incorporated with the rollout as well. All
right, what are your accelerators and milestones that the label gave you?
I'm sorry. Say again.
Like accelerators and stuff. So the label, did they give you any points in which, yo, if you meet this, we'll guarantee you X amount of dollars, like perks and all these different? Did they do anything like that?
Gotcha. No, they haven't. The labels been very lax and loose when it comes to our projects. Even similar with their projects, because you know I've gotten 4 placements for the label CEO that we've written and put out ourselves.
Right.
For them. So those are pretty lax too. So we were figuring that when it came to our project that they weren't going to give us much much energy.
Do you think they signed you for the writing skills and all the other assets that you guys bring?
Honestly, that's what it's starting to look like.
Okay.
But the deal that we signed was a 20-page deal, and we stated before signing it was for it was purposely for writing and as an artist. So he was signed as a writer to the label and as an artist.
Yeah, but that's always to pacify you, right? Like people do what they want to do.
Now that's what I'm finding out. Now that's kind of what I'm finding out. And I found it out through another songwriter friend of mine who was signed to Sony. He said, "Hey, yeah, some of these people will sign you just so they can get free work about you, you know. And once you ask for your favorite, it's like, you know, hey, they're not there." And that's kind of what happened, you know. Not to put her on. I thought we talked.
Yeah, we don't want to say the name, but I thought we talked. I thought we talked about that a little bit back when you was first doing the deal.
Yep.
Okay, so all right, because I remember giving you the whole, I don't want to say his name now that I'm recording it, but I remember telling you about the client that was signing people for friends that I was working with. All right, so here's my here's the thought around that, is that, you know, for me personally, if I've already put someone in the space of a writer, I have zero interest in anything that they're doing as an artist. Like, I could give two fucks. I like you as a writer.
Right.
I'm blunt and transparent. I know that doesn't always work, right? Because, you know, writers that are writers that want to be artists, you know, it's a tricky situation, right? Which is a whole nother spin-off conversation between, should great writers be giving songs to great artists, or should great writers embody their own music, right? Which is it's just a whole nother conversation. But what I will say for you in this situation is them on their side, they're looking at you guys as a publishing asset. They know that you can write records. They know that you can write records. They know that you can potentially get placements. You can do deals for them, and they want to see you perform in that space. There's two ways to get their attention. Way number one, which is probably the easiest way, overperform as a writer. Go out and get a whole bunch of placements. Go out and do another sub public deal with somewhere else. Go out and really generate a lot of value on the publishing side that makes them realize you're so big of an asset that we'll do anything to not lose you. That happened to Kanye West, right? Yo, you making so many beats, you did so this, that, and the third. We can't afford for you to leave our building, go to someone else's building, and bring all your dopeness there. What the fuck we got to do to keep you here, right? You want to be an artist? Fine. We'll put your album out. Just keep giving us the beats. Did it with Neo. I know you want to leave, but what do you really want to do? What do we got to do to keep you here? Oh, you want to be an executive? You want to be a VP? Fine, we'll make you a VP. We'll give you an opportunity. Just keep making the hit songs here. They do it all the time. Most of the times when you see a creative person in a position, in a powerful position, Jay-Z, right? When he had the Def Jam situation, like when you see a great creative, whether it be a producer, a writer, or artist, in a leadership position from a business side, the record label is typically to pacify and hold them. And it also happens in these types of situations, in smaller situations. It's the same ecosystem. So how do you win? You overperform the expectation to force them to give you what you want, or you go out and perform in the area that they did not give you credit for, which then creates a competitive environment for where they have to, you know, work a little hard to retain you, right? In truth, if the goal was to be a writer, if the goal was to be an artist, but they wanted you as a writer, it would have been better just to sign the deal as a writer only, so you can be free as an artist, and it will force them to move a certain type of way. However, we know at the time, conversations and what people are saying was a lot different than where it is today. So, taking us back to present today now. You are focusing on the latter of the two options, where you're saying, hey, we're going to break this project on our own. We're going to show you how hot it is. We're going to show you that there's a market for this, and you're going to want to be interested. You're pretty much out there by yourself doing this. So, because they don't believe. If I was them, I wouldn't believe. If that was my view, I wouldn't believe. So, in this situation, there's no accelerator, there's no opportunity, there's no milestones. You got to go out there, generate X amount of dollars, and make them turn around and go, whoa. Like, you're going to have to get 6 figures before they look up. Right? Right? Which means you're going to need, about 100, about 6 million? 6 million? No. Don't let my math isn't working right now. But you're going to need quite a few million plays to get there. Right? Whatever, 4,000 times. Not the right time for me to do math. Anyway, so yeah, I started drinking a little bit earlier before I did this and just relaxing. It's my wind down time. But I'll tell you this. You're gonna have to go out there and generate plays. So the one thing that I'm hearing you say is that you're spending a lot of money I didn't even hear how much you're spending, and I just heard the areas. All I heard was expense. I didn't hear anything about revenue, which is a huge mistake. I used to make it myself back in the day, and it's just a huge red flag. So my question for you is, you have all these plans for expenses that in your mind will create more plays, streams, exposure, what you're hoping will motivate the label to get behind you, what you're hoping will motivate fans to get behind you, and you're hoping it's going to generate booking opportunities and etc. But you need a direct correlation between the amount of money that you spend and the amount of money that you make. You need a direct goal plan. If I spend this, my goal is to acquire that. I'm spending X amount of dollars to get X amount of fans to sign up to my email list. I'm spending X amount of dollars to get X amount of fans to buy X amount of merch. I'm spending X amount of dollars. So you need to tie all of your plans to an outcome. Right now, all of your plans are tied to exposure. Exposure don't pay the bills. Exposure is not going to allow you to reinvest in the artist to create more exposure. So what I'm hearing right now is you need to restructure your whole plan to ensure that you have revenue generating opportunities attached to your marketing strategy. Therefore, even when whether the label comes in or not, you still have residual income to continue pumping into your situation to keep pushing. Your momentum and your exposure should fuel your exposure. It should be a cycle. Right? It's like a hybrid car. Like, the fast, that's a bad example. I don't know how them cars work. But at the end of the day, you want the shit. The more you spend, the more return you want to see. So you got to figure out what that ratio is. But if I was you, I would definitely have merch opportunities. I would definitely tie my campaign to merch opportunities. I would definitely loop in any other financial assets that I could potentially sell as an artist. Merch is an obvious thing, but there's all sorts of other things you can do. You can sell conversations. You can sell, you can do a contest and people can pay to be a part of the contest to win whatever they're going to win. You can do all sorts of things to generate revenue from the artist and then take that revenue to reinvest in the artist, right?
Right. God damn, man. That's my fingers. Okay, I'm putting this all in my notes right now.
Man, put it in the notes, bro. Put it in the notes. See, you trying to pay for some extended session. You don't even take all that, man. You don't take all that. I could have took your money, but bro, don't take all that.
No. I appreciate that, but you're totally right about that though, because the financial aspect of it is the most important right now. It can become so easy getting lost in trying to build the buzz, trying to get the look together. These things that aren't going to be bringing in the revenue opportunities like you said. So I appreciate that, because you do easily get lost with getting frantic and wanting to be so perfect. So you put your money everywhere else. That really doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense. This is business, man. Let me tell you, when you walk into that office and you can tell them that I spent X amount of dollars and had an ROI of blank, 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 that's a different conversation than a person walking in saying I have X amount of streams and X amount of plays and X. No, I know how I get streams. I know how I get plays. I know why my merch. That's a different fucking conversation. You get a different fucking deal, right? You get a whole different structure, and you get people wanting to buy into your structure. Like the label that you're with now, they don't have that structure. I know they don't have that structure because I can see how they move, and then you'll mess around and. You know what I'm saying? You'll mess around and have a leadership role in their organization, like boss up. Like, this is a business play. You're hungry as you can be right now. All the world's a stage, and you got a huge opportunity. And right now, I know that whatever you did by hook or crook, you generated X amount of capital. You got X amount of deals spinning. You got some residuals coming in. You got the label support, so you can use their name in a lot of situations to push your shit forward. Whether it's PR, press, radio, whether it's the stream, playlisting. That shit don't matter. But you're trying to work different clubs, DJs to play your records. Obviously, no one's in the fucking club right now, but you got to do something. TikTok, however you gonna make it work. Like you have leverage, right? Even if they hop in the video with you, like there's a lot of leverage, but you got to figure out how to turn that leverage into capital, because if you're not turning leverage into capital, then you're not a business. A business invests money to make money. If you're investing money to make fans, not fans, if you're investing money to get impressions, to get exposure, to get plays, all these different things, you're not a business. You're a hobbyist. that spends a lot of money on their hobby, like a person that goes fishing and people spend hundreds of thousands of dollars fishing, right? That shit ain't making you no money. You just catching fish, unless you're like a competitive athlete in sports or whatnot, right?
Right.
So that's that. Hold on, my daughter's trying to get in. Not now, Royal. Daddy's not right now. Go to mommy. All right.
I got the little one there.
Oh yeah, man. I just had a son a couple weeks ago, and yeah, man. I just had a son. His name is Sirr, and my daughter's turning 5 in like 2 weeks.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's perfect.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But shoot,
you got a handful. So I really appreciate getting back on the phone with me, and then even starting the podcast, because it's perfect. It gives real life situations. It's gonna be able to give me like the actual skill set that I should have been putting in place. Implementing from the beginning. Sometimes you just need a small little conversation with somebody. And I feel like if I would have gotten that from the label too, would have put me in a better mindset. What to do and how to move. But like I said, when you're a business, the only thing that makes sense is where the money is. So
that's all they care about. That's it. I mean, but shoot, I mean, in your journey, man, I know we've chatted multiple times throughout. I already support what you're doing. We both talked about it back when we was doing it, with the types of artists that we were representing and how the market is different. But shoot, man, just like you got me, hit me. I know I'm not the best at responding. I've been taking a lot of time for like family time, since the wedding. But I'm really stepping back in it in a major way. So just hit me up, and if you need anything, if I can support, if I can assist, I can. Mm-hmm. If it is going to take an absorbent amount of time, I will take you up on that change offer. But other than that, I'll just try to help you where I can, bro.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And if you have anything I can, that you guys package and put out there, let me know. I'll definitely support that and purchase that from you. And when you do get some downtime, I am definitely trying to get with you. We can do lunch or whatever, however we need to get the rest of it going. But I'd like to get that done too.
I'm down. I love being wined and dined. I'm not against that. We can see how many shots you can take. I'm with it. I'm with it. I appreciate the energy, bro. Go out there and kill it, man. Keep me posted on the wins too. I think I lost him. Did I hang up?
Here, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, when you get ready to push out the podcast too, let me know. I'll definitely support it. Share what we did.
All right, I appreciate it. I'll do a blast, let everybody know, man. But appreciate it. Shoot, let me hit one more person before the end of the night. Try to get one more person locked in right here, man. I appreciate you though, Roddy, man. Keep doing your thing, bro.
All right, I got you. Appreciate you. Bye bye.
All right, 1. Boom, boom, boom. 2 down. I wonder, is this beneficial? I hope this is beneficial. Everyone's listening to this right now. I don't know if I can keep people's attention. What is this? This is 52 minutes. Can I keep your attention longer than 52 minutes? I think that I spent some time at the beginning trying to get my vocals right, so maybe it's 51 minutes or something like that. But whatever it is, I hope this is beneficial for you guys. We're gonna do one more. I'm literally calling through the cats that reached out to me via the number. Like, that's literally what I'm doing. I'm looking at it and I'm going, all right, who am I going to call? Maybe I can pop up and surprise some people. If you didn't know, the number is 404-442-4792. And hopefully I can include you in these types of conversations. This is, my wind down, relax period before I get into the hustle and bustle of the day when I wake up tomorrow. So I just want to take this time to just chill, spend an hour or so just talking to the people. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to keep it going. We're going to do one more. And like I said again, I hope this is beneficial. I hope that you're getting something out of this. And let's see where this goes. All right, who else? I'm just trying to send you some music. So you think about putting me in a podcast to create a conversation? Okay, we already talked. Just trying to send you some music. Devin Watson. I'm a writer, wanted to get paid shows. He says, I'm a writer, wanted to get paid shows. I have you listen to my music to see if I could fit on your roster, if you knew any managers. That's going to be an interesting conversation because I don't I don't really request a lot of people for management because management is such a big task. And so let's talk about it with him. But I'll tell you right now, I'm not big on recommending anyone for management unless a manager comes to me and says, yo, you know anybody? Because management is a task, and that's rare. Like, it's rare that a manager goes, you know anybody, because there's way too many artists and not enough managers, right? So supply and demand, there's always going to be artists and not enough managers, right? And management is such a crazy task. So you got to really commit yourself. But let me not have that conversation with you guys alone. Let's have this conversation with Devin and see how Devin feels. Devin's calling out of Pennsylvania. I should have said that for everybody. I'm gonna start adding that to my resume of things to do. Devin I'm calling Devin out of Pennsylvania, and Roddy, as you guys know, he's a Miami cat, but his family's from Ohio. So let's jump into Devin and figure out what's going on here. Let's call Devin and see if he picks up.
Hello?
Yo, Devin.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's going on? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man.
Cool beans. I didn't call you earlier, did I? You sound just like the brother I talked to earlier today.
Nah, I didn't talk to you today.
You didn't talk to me today. Well, shoot. I'm doing something different. I'm reaching out to individuals that have shot me messages, and I saw that you shot me a message, and I figured that I'd give you a phone call because I'm so backed up. I haven't been replying to everybody as often as I wanted to. So I just wanted to just do a phone call and just figure out how you're doing, see if I can say anything to help you a lot quicker than I could via text.
I'll make some shows, some paid shows.
You trying to get paid shows?
Yeah.
Where you at? I see that you're in Pennsylvania. Is that where you at now, or is that just where you from?
Yeah. Next to Philly.
Where?
Right next to Philly.
Right next to Philly. What type of music you do? There's a lot. Wait, hold up.
I do music all the time. I mean, I do different types of music.
What type of what do you do?
Rap.
You're a
hip-hop,
rapper. Okay.
Rock, R&B, pop.
Rap, hip hop, rock, R&B, and pop. Now, didn't you mention that you were? No, that wasn't you that mentioned you as a writer. So.
Yeah.
So what's the goal? Like, give me that, because I need context. I know I'm calling you.
I want to get signed to a major label.
Okay. Doing what?
Get paid shows. Either ghostwriter or artist development.
You want an artist development deal, or you want to get signed as a ghostwriter?
Probably a ghostwriter.
Okay. And you want to ghostwrite R&B? You want to ghostwrite hip hop? You want to pop? Like, is
everything?
All right. So you're looking for like a song deal or like a publishing deal or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And how is that process? But then you said you wanted to get paid shows, so now I'm confused. So are you a writer or are you an artist?
Well, for the time being, I want to get some paid shows.
Now, explain that to me, if you don't mind, because I know that it sounds a little, it sounds counterproductive. You want to get paid shows, probably because you want to get some money right now, but you want to focus on being a writer and getting a deal related to your pen. However, both of those processes are two completely different work ethic related processes. So my question to you is, which one is more important to you? And just in general, why are both of them important to you?
In general, it was always a dream of mine since I was a kid, watching the big names, being on TV.
Okay. And so as a child, you grew up like, yo, you watching award shows. You was like, yo, man, one day it's going to be me on the stage. Right?
Yeah.
Now, was it you performing on the stage or was it you getting an award on the stage?
Performing and awards.
Okay. So so I need to get, before I can answer your questions, all right, let me tell you what I'm trying to do, right? I am trying to get an understanding of who you are so that I can properly answer the question, because otherwise I'm just going to be telling you some BS, right? So if I'm being authentic, I'm trying to understand authentically who you are. You're a writer, but you're an artist. So you're a writer-artist combo, but you'd rather get a writer-only deal while also being an independent performer on the side.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to sign a major deal as a songwriter and still do independent shows, maybe open up for an act, but not necessarily be a superstar artist, right? You're cool with like Rock City. You ever heard of Rock City?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you want to do something like, would that be accurate? They do pop, they do hip hop, they do all these things, and they're artists, but they're not primarily focused on being artists first, though they are strong artists. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I had a lot of interactions with Rock City in the beginnings. That's why I brought him up. So, if that is your goal, where are you today? Tell me that.
Next to Philly.
No, not located. Like your career. Like where are you today? And
I've been on the radio a couple times. Got a couple of fans' phone numbers on my phone.
Oh wait, hold on a second.
Right. Different.
Hold on, quick question. Are you riding? Are you driving right now?
No.
It's just you vibing in your room by yourself. You in the studio?
No, I'm just listening to music.
Cool. Can you do me a favor?
Yeah.
So today I'm doing something different that I never did before, which is I'm calling people because me and my crew decided to start a podcast. And part of the podcast, I decided to just pop up and call people randomly. Hence why I'm calling you and just have real ass conversations, right? But the music in the background is definitely going to cost me money. If you can you please cut that off if you don't mind.
Hold on. All right.
Appreciate it. Even though I am a fan of Erica, I love Erica. All right, so let's have this conversation, man. I appreciate you doing that, man. I mean, but let's have this conversation. So, right now, where do you want to take it? Do you want to take it to this is what should I be doing right now, or do you want to go what should I be doing right now to become the next, Rock City, but the Devin Watson version of Rock City, or do you want to have a conversation more so about, how do I go get paid shows? Because those are two different conversations, and we're only going to be able to go down one of those paths.
I didn't hear what you said.
I said, do you want to have the conversation about being the next, major songwriter that's also an artist on the low, making great revenue as an artist, or do you want to have the conversation about getting paid shows? Because those are two separate conversations.
Songwriter.
All right, let's do it. So you wanna put yourself in that position. My question for you now is, let's start at the basic bare minimum. Tell me what you have in place right now as a songwriter specifically.
I've been talking to DJ Smooth. He gonna give me some beats so I can write to him and see what I got. I've been on the radio a few times. I'm talking to a couple managers now about getting some shows and shouting to them for a little bit.
DJ Smooth out of Macon, Georgia?
Yeah, out of Georgia.
Oh, yo, I know Smooth. Okay. Yeah. All right, go ahead.
My brother worked with Jaden Smith, the Pussycat Dolls, and a couple other artists. He's a producer.
Okay.
I'm really trying to do my own thing. Okay.
So, Smooth is sending you some beats because he wants you to write to him, right?
Yeah.
All right. And your hopes is that you write to those beats, he gets it placed on an artist that, for those that don't know, Smooth is on the radio station, right? He's also a radio personality and the dope DJ. He also was he was a part of at least the Coalition DJs. I think he migrated because the Coalition DJs shifted dramatically after DJ Nando's passing RIP. But DJ Smooth really has a lot of authority in Atlanta through his relationships, and he pretty much runs Macon, Georgia, right? Which is a sub market. It's a BSC market, for which if you get your record broken in that particular market, the chances of it sparking on the Atlanta market dramatically increases. And for those that don't know, if you hit the Atlanta market, you're guaranteed Chicago and a couple other different cities across the country. So DJ Smooth is an essential guy, right? One of many that have that type of role and position that, you know, there is a domino effect to what they do. And I'm not sure if you knew that, but, you know, that's a part of DJ Smooth's thing. So you getting the record placed with DJ Smooth would be a big deal. Well, here's the thing. How many demos have you already done?
How many what?
Demos have you already recorded?
A couple, 2.
You said 2?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let me tell you where you got to go as a writer. Are you ready?
Yeah.
So I've been in the studio and in the room with many writers, some of the best writers in the game, right? And if you wanna be on as a writer, what's key is your demo. Your demo catalogs has got to be crazy. It's got to be crazy. All right. So you have to be able to play records for hours, right? And which means you have to write the records and demo the records. So everything on your notepad needs to be recorded. You need to record every single record. You need to have the hunger of an artist. If as a writer, it's easier to get free studio time because you can do hooks for people and they'll help buy you studio time, or you can do hooks for producers that also engineer and they'll give you free studio time. There's so many ways to hustle free studio time as a writer, right? Get in the studio and you need to demo all your records. Now, to give you clarity on what demo is, because you may already know. Wait, first off, you already understand full clarity of what a true industry demo is?
No.
Okay. And mind you, I always ask these questions. I don't want to demean you in my question asking, but I never know the level of the person I'm talking to when I call. That's why I'm always trying to get clarity, right? So when you demo a record, okay, it's basically you singing the record in the way that the record is supposed to be sung by the artist that's going to sing it at the end. All right. So what does that mean for you? It means that you're supposed to record the song from beginning to end with all the stacks, which is multiple layers of tracks on top of each other, all of the harmonies, all of the counter melodies, all of the in and outs, all of the punch-ins, every single thing that is supposed to be a part of the final record, you have to record and capture. I mean, if there's breathing on the song, you need to breathe on the song. If there's talking in the middle of it, you better talk. You're supposed to emulate everything the artist is supposed to do. And you're supposed to do it in the emotion that the artist is supposed to convey or capture. If it's a sad song, you better sound sad as shit. If it's a happy song, you better sound happy as shit. Because in today's art market, what the R&B artist is going to do is they're going to let you come in the studio. They're going to say what you got. You're going to have a hard drive or USB drive you're going to plug up, and they're going to listen to your records, right? And there's going to be like next, because everything about it will make them fuck with the record or not fuck with the record. If the beat is whack, they'll skip it. Now they won't even get to your lyrics, right? If the song isn't about something that connects to them personally, it could be a dope ass record, but that's just not who they are. That's not something they've experienced. They're not interested. They'll skip the record, and you'll go on to the next. You'll go on to the next, and eventually they hear something. They go, ooh, oh, that's dope. Oh shit, I love that. Play that again. God damn, that's the shit. And then they'll turn around and say, yo, load that up. Right? So whenever you show up to the studio with these records, you always show up with the demo and the instrumental. Never show up with just the demo, because now how the fuck they gonna cut the record if you got the opportunity, right? So they got the opportunity now. You got the instrumental. They upload the instrumental. They upload your demo. They're layered on top of each other and sync it. And then the artist will literally punch your song line by line in the studio, right? So if the first words are, girl, I wanna know, are you bad? Is you da dun 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 dun? If you dun dun dun, they go, all right, stop, I got it. And they'll repeat just that part. And they'll go, all right, cool, let me hit the next part. And and then they'll punch it. And I'm telling you how it goes. Then they'll punch it. Yeah. They'll punch your whole song line by line. Then go back in and do all the in and outs. Then go back in and do all, and they'll copy every single thing you did. And you'll be in the studio coaching them through how to do all the things that you did. There might be some twang that you did on a certain word to make it rhyme with another word. You might have to give them clarity. There may be a staccato area that was just difficult to hit the right note. And it might have been difficult to hit the right note with the right cadence without using a certain technique that you may have used to cut the record. You'll coach them through that record. And if they're really talented, they won't even need you to coach them through it. They'll just hear it and they'll know what to do because they've been coached through so many different types of records. They've seen the situation before. Anyway, that is a demo. You need to have a shitload of them, right? And your demos, so when you tell somebody, yo, I'm a pop writer, you should be able to play me 2 hours of pop music, period, of current, up-to-date pop music. You should be able to tell me what you was thinking. Like, yo, so when I wrote this, I was thinking Ariana Grande for this. I was thinking, Justin Bieber for this. I was thinking Taylor Swift for this. I was thinking Katy Perry. I'm going for the Giants right now. But, these are who I was thinking. And then you tell me you're going to do an R&B record, this is who I was thinking. If you got rap records, this is who I was thinking. If you got hooks for rappers, this is who I was thinking could be on it. I chose this because the beat's like this. Because this also a test of your A&R skills. Because sometimes you go into the room and the person that's listening to your records will go, I don't like none of the records, but I like your approach. I like how you think. I think that you got what it takes to go there. And boom, you get the opportunity. So right now, if you want to be an artist, you got a writer, a great writer, you got to start with demos.
All right.
You got to go?
Yeah, I'm going to call you back.
All right, well, we're going to end up ending, man, so I ain't going to be like, holler at you, man. But do whatever you got to do, man. Take care of yourself. I hope this is helpful, brother.
All right, man.
All right, one. That's real life right there. I don't know what was happening in the background. My dude was getting cursed out by somebody. Why you cut my motherfucking music off? I was listening to that Erykah Badu. All right, well, listen. This is something new. We got to give this a name. We don't really have a name for what we're doing with this segment right here. I don't know. I want ideas. Give me ideas. Maybe I have it by the time I drop it, but let me know if this is beneficial. That's what I want to know. That is my question for everybody listening to this. Is this beneficial? Do you now want to send a text message to 404-442-4792 and have a conversation and possibly be chosen for one of these blind conversations? Or, is it something that was like, that was a lot, but it was a waste of my time? I would love to get your feedback. I would love to hear how you guys are feeling. This was me just being 100, having real conversations. I think we had real conversations today. I have a whole lot more calls to go through. Right now, I have 99 plus text messages that I haven't even opened yet. So this is going to be a reoccurring theme, and it stops at 99 because it refuses to tell me any number beyond that. So I fear that I'm in the hundreds somewhere, the multiple hundreds. But I'd like to thank all of you guys for your energy, for watching, the channel, for going to the website and supporting, for believing in yourselves and working forward, moving towards your career, for believing in me and my team and trusting us with the ability or trusting us with your career and allowing us to share our ability to provide insights and knowledge around this. I really appreciate you guys for this. Many a times I've considered just walking away from this because this was always I just want to do something to help the people type of program for me. I didn't jump into phase 6 saying, hey, I'm going to get rich making classes or something. That wasn't the goal. The goal was, my wife beat me up and said, babe, you got all this information. You should share it. And I was like, how? And she said, stand in front of this camera and just talk. And that's literally how you got the first 3 episodes. Me talking about publishing and mechanical rights. It's down to 3. It was literally me just talking, right? Like, all right, what am I talking about? I'll talk about mechanical royalties. Let's talk about that, right? And it's evolved from that. And I'm thankful to you all because right now I'm doing this podcast literally because I'm still getting all these text messages. I'm still getting all these comments. My YouTube video viewership has not decreased. It's increased even though I am not on it. Cats are still going to the website, still showing love, still sending messages. It's like, damn, I cannot leave people hanging like this because I know what it is to be in that space. I was there before. I get it. I know what it is. And I'm thankful that you guys, obviously see the authenticity in what I'm doing and that it's translating in such a way that's adding value to all of you guys. And I want to continue doing that. So please let me know if this is beneficial. Go to www.phasevi.com. Check us out. Text into the number 404-442-4792. The number automatically changes on its own as we get too many text messages, which is a note, so it may differ for you with the reply messages that come in. It will automatically send you a reply message because I will not be able to field all of your text messages. But as you can see, I try to get back to them via text, and on this show I'm getting back to them via me talking. So without any further ado, I don't know everything, right? I don't know everything, but I know a lot about a little and a little bit about a lot, and I'm always trying to give you guys everything that I got. And this is the new way that we're doing it right here on Phase 6. I appreciate you guys. I'm out.
Transform your life and build your own empire. With Sirr Love.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, I said real talk, I said real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.
Real talk, no chase.
Yeah.